The Pirates of the Caribbean 5 hype is very real. As you can see, I'm wearing my map shirt in honor of the movie. I'm so excited! And it did indeed perform very well on Super Bowl Sunday. It was the second most talked about trailer after Guardians of the Galaxy. But hey, that's Marvel. It's not exactly a fair fight. And it's a friendly fight because they're both Disney. But this trailer definitely shows that this franchise is still very much alive. And I feel that with this first full trailer for the movie, Disney is asking about a theory that they have, and that's, does a Pirates of the Caribbean movie need Jack Sparrow, right? And that's a very interesting question, especially as Johnny Depp continues to self-implode, self-destruct. First there was Amber Heard, and it's just not going away. And also, of course, his overacting, which ironically all started with this franchise because he tasted tremendous superstar success, and as my theory goes, wasn't quite sure how he achieved it, so decided to just go full clown. And you never go full clown. Although I think at the very end here, when he does show up, you can see even Johnny Depp reining it in a bit. But I have to say that maybe the Pirates franchise isn't about Jack Sparrow, but it's about ghost pirates, right? And maybe that's what Disney's trying to see if they can do. And if they can get actors of the caliber of Javier Bardem front and center, why not continue along this path, right? And Javier Bardem, to see him focused on so strongly is very exciting. He's had an illustrious career playing eccentric bad guys, and he's done it quite well, which is why he has an illustrious career doing so. But he's never been front and center quite like this, and I think that's very exciting. And it seems that the work that he's doing here is worthy of such a spotlight. But let's discuss within the trailer. All right, so look at that opening shot. It's so beautiful. As I said in my reaction, they hired the directing duo behind Kon-Tiki. They're from Norway, and I feel it's almost like a Christopher Nolan type hire, and that you get somebody who's going to elevate the material and take it really seriously, which is so wonderful. I just reviewed John Wick 2 today as well, and it's so nice. You ask yourself, why don't directors always try and do the best job possible? Why coast? Why rest on your laurels? Why not always try and turn things up to an 11? And it's so wonderful when somebody does. So look at that. Kon-Tiki is not only a beautiful movie just like this, but it's a good movie, and I think it's worth checking out if you're looking for something to watch, although we all have very long to-watch lists these days, thanks to TV. But anyway, this looks gorgeous. So look at that shot. All right, so here we go. Now, I love this. This is so great. I like this comedic actor. He does a good job. But I love this dead seagull. Oh, it's so creepy. We're going to get a really good shot of it in just a second. But this is a really good way, right there. By the way, I love how part of his leg isn't there. There's just something that fascinates me about that. I'm like, there's nothing connecting the foot to the leg. So why does he stick with it, right? Like, you would think, I've seen some cool statues, actually, on one of the paths I usually take, there are these statues in the window, and there's like a thin line that would attach the foot and the leg, just like the outer edge of it or the inner edge of it. But that's not even here. So just the structure of it really intrigues me. And I guess maybe that's the point. I'm like, what? That's not even attached. But this is, how often do seagulls perch on the bow of a ship and annoy pirates, right? Do dead seagulls poop, right? That could be one of the silver linings here. At least you don't have to clean up after it, although it's going to attack them in a minute. But this is like a really clever, common way to do things, is that you take a situation that's familiar and then you add a twist to it, right? That's like one of the heightened storytelling's 101. So it's done very well here. So you've got this dead seagull looking at him. Seems kind of smart for a seagull, although animals are surprisingly smart if you pay attention. So I like this guy. Hold on. He's like, whoa, this is bad. I love how sunburned everybody's faces here are. It's a very thin line between the living pirates and the dead pirates, right? They're both pretty tortured and in bad shape, and I think that's a fabulous choice. Although nobody looks as tortured as, we'll get to Geoffrey Rush when we see him. So I thought this was a great comedic thing. He's like, whoa, let me snap out of it. And I like the way he looks off camera. He's like, is it still there? His face looks like it hurts so much. That's just fantastic makeup. So he looks, oh yeah, it's gone. Oh, okay. Whew. Oh my God, that's great. Great cutting. It's so scary. I love the rib cage. It's just awesome. It would have been great if the seagull had left his foot over there, but somehow it's attached. Great opening. Now look at this. Okay. Now, as we've discussed, Disney does a fantastic job playing with their open. It's so beautiful. And they really, and this is so interesting because you can see, it really is just like the Disney castle, even with like the turrets on the side there. But here they've turned it into an abandoned pirate fort, which also, by the way, looks like Typhoon Lagoon. Never miss an opportunity for branding, Disney. I love it. But I'm curious to see how they come out of this, because my favorite one to date is the Jungle Book, the live-action Jungle Book, where they changed even like what it looked like before you got to this, so maybe we'll see some cool stuff there too. And then when they pulled out, they went into the jungle. So I'm like, are we going to pull into like an island at night out of this? It's so exciting. But it gets really cool even here, because you can see lightning comes down and electrifies, Tower of Terror style. Ride it while you can. Although I heard more about the Guardians of the Galaxy reskinning, and it sounds pretty good actually. But you can see it electrifies just some of the letters there. Oh, it's so cool. That's really neat. And that looks almost like a flare in the background, right? Oh, it's really well done. Okay. I have to say, though, one of my favorite things is the palm trees in the dark. There's just something hypnotic about them. Oh, okay. All right, so we move along here. Bruckheimer still working. Now, that's a great shot. Like, he's so tortured. You're like, oh, look at this. We're serious here. This is like, we are not playing around. Like, they would take a moment. There are a couple really great Javier Bardem character shots in this trailer. But they're like, we're going to take the time to build this character and give him some motivation. And I'm like, thank you. Oh, it's great. And everybody loves the underwater hair effect for Javier Bardem's character, Captain Salazar, even when he's above on top of the water. So I like that they're using it as much as they can. They're like, oh, we got more. You never, like, just like The Little Mermaid, the animated movie, nobody ever got tired of seeing her hair move around. I don't think anyone's gonna get tired of seeing Javier Bardem's hair move around. It's so beautiful and lustrous. Okay. Now here comes the ship. It's so gorgeous. Now look at that. This is another great lesson in camera placement. You know, I talked about with Kong Skull Island. I'm like, you can show the explosion or you can show it reflected in the eyes of some douchey guy's sunglasses. Aviators, no less, right? The sunglasses of choice of douches everywhere. But this is amazing because they're like, let's not only show these two ships together, but let's place the camera inside the dead ship. And that's just such a great choice, especially because, you know, when you're on sea, this was one of my problems with Moana. I was like, this is getting boring. It's the same shot constantly. There's the horizon line, and there we are on sitting on top of it. But this is like, okay, well, how can we, add some depth and some energy to these sequences, which are in the middle of nowhere? And this is a great way to do it. So these guys are good directors. Now, I'm not quite sure what's going on here. That's weird. Like, it looks like maybe Barbossa, Geoffrey Rush's ship, has, like, speared it, and this ship's like, whatever. But I'm not quite sure how it's turning. It's like a weird situation. Although, look, this is like the dueling of the mastheads. I like that skeleton on the front of that ship. That's pretty awesome. It's funny, like the living ship has a dead guy on it and the dead ship has an alive guy on it. That's really funny, but it looks really neat. Also, I like the idea of blood red sails for a pirate ship. You don't see that a lot. Good choice. All right, like blood or wine. Pirates like both. So here, look at this. Wow, look at Geoffrey Rush's face. It's amazing. I don't know where to look. The red blistered skin or his beautiful aquatic blue eyes. They don't even look real. They're like marbled blue. They're just stunning. And he's got really nice hair too. Wow. These pirates don't do a lot of work on their skincare, but they're shampooing like no tomorrow, it seems. So hold on. I love that he knows that Balthazar is behind him. Look at that. Look how Captain versus Captain. Oh, that's such a great shot. Wow. Javier Bardem is so cool. Look at him. He's like it's a reckoning they both know is coming. Woohoo, I love it. That's really neat. And he does seem, again, as I said, a very thin line between the living and the dead, and both seem, tortured in their own ways. Oh, I love it. It's so good. Like, rotted by the sun, rotted by the sea. Woohoo. All right. I see maybe some makeup nominations in this movie's future. So look at this. So this alive ship is surrounded by these dead ships. And I love this, the way they film this battle at sea. It looks like really authentic, like a great painting even. It's really stunning. And again, they're in the middle of nowhere, but they've managed to make a really crowded, intriguing frame. That's great. They got a lot of firepower from undead people who came from under the water, right? All right. Look at that. Oh, look at I love all the dead bodies floating too. That's so great, right? Although I don't think they will ever add those to the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. They've added Johnny Depp and Geoffrey Rush. I hope they add Salazar. That would be amazing. Do his hair effect, right, on the ride. But I'd be like, could we throw some dead bodies in here? Probably not. But wow, it looks so cool there. That's so neat. I don't like this lady. I hate this lady, actually. Oh, she reminds me of old Pirates of the Caribbean. I've always enjoyed, well, I didn't like 2. I liked 1. I liked 3, kind of. I really liked 4, even though I know I'm in the minority there, and I'm very excited about 5. But this lady looks like the bad elements of the Pirates movies, right? Where you're like, nah, you gotten too far, right? Like, I would be reluctant to talk to this woman, too. Even if she had good information, I'd be like, I don't know, lady. I don't know. All right. Now, I love this, though. This guy's moving just like an old pirate in an old movie. If you're a Turner Classic Movie fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know why he doesn't have a wooden leg. Maybe he's going to the wooden leg store, but he's got 2 crutches and only 1 leg. So I like that he's got little tassels that really sell the moving effect. You know, maybe it's Geoffrey Rush because his hat has tassels like that, come to think of it. Maybe his Barbossa running doesn't go so well. So he's moving in there. That cloak is really cool, too. And here that lady says, looking for a sparrow. And we all know what that means, right? It looks like someone has driven like a sword through that hat. That's pretty neat. You can see a hole on each side. Someone could have shot, but why would they shoot 2 holes at the same time in someone's head? We'll see. Now look at that. Oh my God, that's so gorgeous. That water just looks like that's ideal water. It's just stunning. And I like this. I don't want this to be too much like Keira Knightley's character. I did not enjoy her in the Pirates movies. It was not good. Nobody enjoyed her in the Pirates movies. But this, I think, is Scodelario. Now, she has like some kind of thigh holster here, which was under her dress, obviously. I don't know if she's holding a weapon or maybe hiding something. She plays an astronomer who is searching for Poseidon's trident. And she's someone who wants to study at university, so they're going to have a little bit of commentary there. You know, Keira Knightley's character was like, why can't I captain a ship? And they're like, because you're a girl. And Kay Scodelario is going to be like, why can't I study at university? And they're going to be like, because you're a girl. So it's always hard when you have those storylines. I hope that Kay Scodelario does a better job not seeming too feminist and also too like, whatever you can do, girls can do better, because that's never a healthy approach to take either. So I've liked her a lot in the Maze Runner movies, so I'm hopeful for her to do a good job here. So she's running away here. Good luck running from dead pirates, lady. Now look at this. The CGI stunt doubles for these dead pirates are amazing. There's no way that's them. So that's all, this whole thing's, I don't even know if any of it's real, but you know, probably at the bare minimum, they pointed a camera at the sky and shot a frame. Maybe they have a little bit of point of references. Or maybe people like in motion capture suits, and then that's all CGI probably. So CGI Javier Bardem is pretty darn convincing. Look at this. So he goes down, jumps down. Sometimes he looks like he has no hair, right? But look at that, he lands. That's how I think you can tell it's digital Javier Bardem, right? Especially because he never comes into focus, right? They're like, we don't want this to come into focus. So look, so that's him. And she's like, oh man. And you know, it's funny because if you put Jack Sparrow in this situation, they would have gone for comedic effect. But here they're going for that it's both horrifying and cool, right? Because they're running on top of the water. Jesus style. Jesus is like, hey. Although Jesus was a pretty chill guy. That's kind of like his thing. So he'd be like, all right. So anyway, I love them running over the water. Now, I wonder if that's a practical effect, because you could put like a plexiglass or glass or, you know, some kind of clear substance there and put like just a layer of water over it and then have the camera underneath and everyone run over it. So you could do that with like practical effects. So why pay to do that digitally? Although I'm sure Disney's like, we have an endless amount of money. Don't worry about it. So that's just a cool shot. And look, here they come. Salazar leading the charge. He's like, I might as well. We're already all dead. I can afford to be brave. But he looks really cool. But you can see the hair. I would have given him a bit more hair here. I'm telling you guys, hair is important. But I would have given him a bit more hair because he's supposed to have the really cool flowing hair. And here he looks like he's just got, you know, Crispin Glover hair. All right? So they run past the camera. Now look at this. First, I wasn't so happy about this because I'm like, that looks a lot like at World's End. They already did the whole whirlpool in the sea thing. But when you see, he's also like, didn't I already see this in another movie? But when you keep going, you can see that it's actually cut this trench is cut by the anchor from this ship. So that's pretty neat. Like when they put down their anchor, they part the sea. A lot of Moses style, a lot of biblical references. I can't help myself. So that's really neat. Now here we have some great shots. So that's that ship that went up. And I guess when it comes down, it blows the ship up. Maybe it landed on some dynamite sticks. But it sure makes a pretty picture, right? So we go ahead. Now this is where you really sell it. Him just driving right on through the fire. And a driven man. Oh, I love it. He looks so cool. And he's driving with one hand because he's that much of a boss, right? That is so cool. Although he does seem to have his sword in, for balance into the deck. That's so amazing, right through the fireball. Although I have to say, his second in commands, although they all seem to have the exact same face. Are you saving money on digital extras, Disney? Except that guy has an eye patch. I'm like, I guess when it's going fast, you don't notice it, but when you freeze it, you're like, they're all the same, kind of. But that guy looks really cool, particularly on the left. I'm like, you can stand next to me. You're helping my image. Go ahead, Bob. Bob and Steve are my favorite, go-to names. So anyway, he's so cool. You can see he has good hair there. Now there's Orlando Bloom. Oh, he's been under the water a little too long, right? I'd be like, Orlando, maybe you should go into the light from the other side so that your good half shows first, and then you can be like, oh yeah, and I got some barnacles on one side of my face, but did you see the first half when I came through the light? It looks like there's some seaweed, because of course he's taken over. He's the new Davy Jones guy, right? Taking over the Flying Dutchman, right? He's the new captain. So I don't know how I feel about it. He joins a long list of pretty boy actors being like, let's take care of that so people focus on my acting. And I'm like, well, you better hope you have some acting to show off, Orlando Bloom, particularly next to not only Javier Bardem, but Johnny Depp has been known to be quite a good actor, when he chooses to be, right? So it's a tall order for Orlando Bloom. So I hope he can survive taking away what he's famous for. Also, so many people like Orlando Bloom because of how he looks. I'd be really nervous if I were a Disney executive. They're like, Orlando wants to cover his face in barnacles so he can show what a great actor he is. And I'd be like, oh, I'm glad he's back and I want to make him happy. But has anyone seen him act? I've not seen him act, and he's been in a lot of movies. He's good at action. I liked his return in the Hobbit films, so I'm hoping he does a nice job here. I wonder how much of the film he's in. So anyway, he's like, yeah, not a great job choice. So this is very cool. You guys pointed out, I saw maybe point out this dead shark. Oh, it looks so nasty, right? Oh, still eating. Now I love the pirate flag on fire. That's pretty spectacular. All right, so it's coming down. Now here we go. Jack Sparrow shows up. Now I think this is actually a good balance because they go for the humor of him totally covered in mud. So you're like, how'd that happen? Tell me the story, Jack. Or better yet, show me, right? If he climbs out of some mud somewhere, that could be pretty cool. But his delivery is muted, right? It's more exasperated. Yeah, this was the career choice I made. He and Orlando Bloom's character Will Turner can share a drink being like, this did not turn out so great for us, right? Let's go find some new pirates and warn them. So I think that it's interesting that maybe they were like, why don't you just pull back a little bit, Johnny. Oh, he looks like he has some kind of fishing lure in his hair over there. You got a little something in your hair there, buddy. But so I think I'm as I've said, Johnny Depp can be quite a good actor. So let's see if maybe he pulls that out here. That would be wonderful. And then, then he just says, he doesn't even finish the quote. He's like, yeah, pirate's life. And then he just this is the for me. So that's awesome. I like these, and I was also that's covered in mud. So wherever he was covered in mud, he took a bottle, he took a drink, he took some rations with him. So I hope he does a good job. I really do. And there's the really cool effect. That's that awesome skull. It's so neat. It's got Poseidon's trident. You can see that right in there in the middle. And some kind of, it's got different kinds of writing actually on it. All the different corners of the box office, right? So we've discussed before, it has some Asian writing, it looks like up there. And then that looks like some kind of European writing. Pretty darn cool. I guess Scodelario will interpret it for us. And there's a constellation. Very neat. They're like, Memorial Day. Oh, use that hashtag, Pirate's Life. I was like, where's everyone getting that hashtag from? You guys are eagle-eyed on that. I'm very excited. I will definitely probably see this in IMAX 3D or real 3D. Sometimes I don't know if you need to go for the IMAX, but it should actually probably a really big screen because of the ocean shots. You really want to see those. But it's stunning. So gorgeous. So beautiful. So what do you think of the Pirates trailer? Also, Disney has asked you this question. They're testing this theory. Do the Pirates of the Caribbean movies need Johnny Depp front and center or even at all? And I'm curious, what do you think? I don't think that Brendan Thwaites is going to take over this franchise. And if they think that's the case, look how high his credits are. Johnny Depp is above the title, but it goes Javier Bardem and then Brendan Thwaites. I've seen Brendan Thwaites in a lot of movies. I don't think he's good enough to carry this unless he's going to show, surprise, I do have talent. But maybe Scodelario. But I would be like, can we just keep Javier Bardem, like Geoffrey Rush is stuck around? Or let's go find another awesome actor to be a dead pirate for a movie. So I'm just curious as to, considering how much excitement is around this film, they're definitely going to make a Pirate 6, it seems. What do you think? What path do you think Disney should chart its course for? All right, write your thoughts down below, and you can check out some more videos right now.